Boris Johnson's stunning victory in the UK elections. His Conservative Party picked up nearly 4 dozen seats, giving him a clear majority to push through Brexit. Let's get back to Oscar Williams-Grut, live for us in London today. So, Oscar, tell us what this means now for the timeline exactly for Brexit. Do we know?
Well, definitely, Alexis. What this does is it clarifies the timeline. We already knew the key dates, but there was some uncertainty as to whether we would actually be hitting them. Now the fog has been lifted from the road to Brexit. The key dates to watch are January 31st. That is when Britain must ratify the withdrawal agreement that it has negotiated with the EU to allow it to exit the EU without crashing out in a sort of hard Brexit. After that, that now looks like it should go through, given Boris's majority. After that, the key date is the December 2020, the end of the year. By that time, the EU and the UK must have negotiated a trade deal. Otherwise, we're faced with another potential hard Brexit when the UK will stop following EU trading terms and could risk a pretty shocking schism with the continent. However, that's a very ambitious timeline, just 11 months to negotiate a huge free trade agreement. If they can't meet that deadline, or if it doesn't look like they're going to be meeting it, by July, they have the option to extend the negotiating timetable if both sides agree. However, so far, all signs are that Boris Johnson wants to push this incredibly ambitious timeline and get a deal done by December.
Oscar, we saw a big move higher in the pound, but more broadly, how are European markets reacting to this?
We've seen a huge move in all European assets really today. First off, the pound, as you said, it surged last night against both the dollar and the euro. It hit a 18-month high against the dollar and a 31-month high against the euro. Now, it's come off slightly today as we've seen some profit taking. But what we have seen this morning is a surge in UK and European stocks. UK stocks like banks, house builders, retailers, domestically focused businesses have absolutely surged higher today. That's largely because they didn't want to see a Corbyn government, which was viewed as bad for the economy. And, as we've just been discussing, there's now some clarity on Brexit. More broadly, we're seeing European stocks surge to new highs as well. The Stoxx 600, which tracks the biggest 600 stocks across the continent, hit an all-time high earlier today. Now, that's partly down to the election, but it should also be said that some early optimism around the US-China trade deal is also supporting stocks here.
Oscar, we know that President Trump tweeted a short while ago, well, actually a few hours ago, congratulating Boris Johnson. What's this going to mean for the U.S., a possible trade deal with the U.K.?
Well, I think what it means is that we are likely to see very quick moves on this once that the UK are able to negotiate. We know from some documents that were leaked during the election campaign that the Conservative Party have been having behind-the-scenes discussions with the US about what a trade deal may look like when negotiations are legally allowed to take place. But the UK must leave the EU officially before they can start to negotiate free trade agreements. However, the fact that Trump has tweeted this, saying there's a possibility for a massive free trade deal, which would be better than anything he could do with the EU, that's obviously a great sign for Britain. It's a clear indication that he wants to do a deal and he potentially could give us quite favourable terms, although that, of course, remains to be seen.
Oscar Williams-Grut, get some rest this weekend, all right? You've been working real hard. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.